a team of Enforcement Directorate officials at the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal's residence with a search warrant. Yes, with a search warrant. At least 8 to 10 ED officials have reached Kejriwal's residence hours after Delhi High Court denied him any interim protection from arrest. The ED team will serve the 10th summon to him in connection to the liquor policy scam case. Yes, 10th. And the High Court in this context refused to provide relief to Delhi CM on his plea seeking protection from coercive action by the ED for alleged irregularities in the formulation and implementation of the now defunct Delhi Excise policy. Kejriwal had moved the Delhi High Court a second time in the last 3 days in connection with ED's 9 summons issued to him in connection with the excise case. So issue is what is going to happen now with the ED officers there. So there are two things. One, High Court decision, and the second, 8 ED officers. Brijesh, just enlighten me. Let's take these visuals full screen. This is from the house.
Yeah, this is the official residence of Delhi Chief Minister.
Please take me through.
This is the official residence of Delhi Chief Minister. You can clearly see that, DCP North has completely, they have barricaded the entire area, and the visual which we saw the first time was a gentleman sitting inside the car was Saurabh Bhardwaj, who had rushed to Arvind Kejriwal's residence, and he wanted to get in, but his car was stopped. He was not allowed to enter. I think, Kartikeya, what has happened is that today when the interim relief against any kind of coercive action was denied to him, I think the ED has decided that it's time for move in for the kill. They will serve 10th search warrant. They've served notice for Arvind Kejriwal to join them, and they are also, what we have been given to understand as of now about the reports or news which is coming out there, is that they might carry out search warrants here. Saurabh Bhardwaj is there right outside. Yeah, he's going to speak something on this.
प्रथम दृष्टया जिस तरह से पुलिस अंदर है और मुख्यमंत्री जी के निवास में किसी को जाने नहीं दिया जा रहा है, ऐसा लग रहा है कि मुख्यमंत्री जी के यहाँ रेड मारी गई है, और उनके मन में क्या है ये नहीं मालूम, बट ऐसा दिखता है कि मुख्यमंत्री जी को गिरफ्तार करने की पूरी तैयारी है।
तो क्या सर आज मुख्यमंत्री तो यहाँ पर आपने सौरभ भारद्वाज को सुना जिन्होंने कहा कि मुख्यमंत्री अरविंद केजरीवाल को गिरफ्तार।
So the Enforcement Directorate team is at the Kejriwal's residence carrying out investigation. The police arrangement has been made. There are 8 to 10 officers. So there is one important thing. It's a search memo. It's not a arrest warrant.
Well, it's just the start. It's like you don't go with the arrest memo. What you do is that you go with the search and seizure, you talk to the person concerned, you conduct the investigation, you are questioning of the person concerned, and then you say that, you are not satisfied, and to conduct the investigation in a more deeper way, then you take the individual into custody. I don't think, I might be putting out my neck, that ED will arrest Arvind Kejriwal as we speak, because the tone and tenor of the ED was kind of different, when it was the High Court, where they did not say that they are going for the kill. And interestingly, ED
can you just elaborate on that? I think that's an important point.
Why? Because they said that right now we cannot guarantee, but we are saying that we have called you for investigation. We do not say that we are immediately moving in for arresting you. But what they said was,
did they say that?
No, this was the import of what they said in the court.
No, because this is a very important point you are making.
So, because but they say that all your intention is to arrest me rather than go for that. And they made one very interesting disclosure today in the court, Kartikeya, and I think that will be a very important point throughout this investigation, is that they have served the summon to 9 summons, and if there's a summon, then 10th summon to Arvind Kejriwal in his private capacity. They have not served him as a convener of Aam Aadmi Party. They have not served him notice as the Chief Minister of Delhi. And I think, herein lies a puzzle, that, what could Arvind Kejriwal do in his private capacity as an individual to influence, what was going on, or how to influence the policy. So it's very, very interesting to see, how it pans out. But one thing is for sure, that tomorrow, first thing, Arvind Kejriwal, Aam Aadmi Party is going to move the apex court, saying that this is what they feared, this is what they moved the High Court for, and this is Enforcement Directorate is kind of substantiating our fear, and they just want to arrest Arvind Kejriwal before this election.
So again, let me get back to this news that the heavy police deployment has taken place.
These are the ED officials.
And these are the ED officers?
Yeah, these are the ED officers who are standing there. I think,
Can you just take us to the difference between the visuals which we saw at Hemant Soren's residence and this residence?
Well,
is there any difference?
Well, I think, there's a difference because Delhi is not a full state. So the police is not under you. In Delhi, the police is not under you. And in Jharkhand case, the police was under Hemant Soren. That is the reason why we saw the ED not being that, that coercive, or there was a massive police deployment which was acting at the orders of Hemant Soren when he was the chief minister. A case here in Delhi is completely different. The Delhi police reports to Ministry of Home Affairs, and the minister who heads this is Amit Shah. So there's going to be no support from the police. By support, I mean there's going to be no leniency, any kind of leniency from the police. Nobody will be allowed inside. If you had your own police, there might be chance that they might allow a couple of people to go inside, not interfere in the investigation directly, but at least have some sort of action. This is not going to happen there. And these are the visuals of these ED officers who are talking to the person concerned. I think that gentleman who is in the red shirt is the one who is receiving the notice from the Enforcement Directorate, because when you enter, you have to make a dual proper sarkari likha padi before you enter. So I think and this is exactly, see, you can see there that that is exactly what is happening. The entire area has been barricaded.
I think what I think is that the sort of prep which I saw at the Hemant Soren's residence is not here. The sort of prep that took place.
Well, because the police, as I said, there the police was under Hemant Soren. Here the police is under Amit Shah.
So you don't require that.
So you don't have the heft. If Delhi police had operated under Arvind Kejriwal, it would have been a completely different scenario.
Okay. Let's play out the bite of South.
पूरा का पूरा मामला था. हाई कोर्ट ने ईडी को समय दिया है 22 अप्रैल तक का कि आप अपना जवाब दाखिल करें कि अरविंद केजरीवाल की गिरफ्तारी क्यों ज़रूरी है. और अब जिस तरीके से ईडी अरविंद जी के घर में फ़िलहाल है, बाहर पुलिस का बड़ा बंदोबस्त दिख रहा है, घर के अंदर जाने की मनाही है, उनके फ़ोन से ना मुख्यमंत्री जी से ना उनके सचिव से कम्युनिकेशन नहीं हो पा रहा है. ऐसा लगता है कि ईडी वालों ने उनके फ़ोन्स वगैरह भी ले लिए हैं. पूरा का पूरा अंदेशा ये है कि अंदर रेड चल रही है और बहुत जल्द उनको गिरफ्तार करने वाले हैं. एक बात इससे साफ है, अगर प्रधानमंत्री जी को किसी से डर लगता है तो वो अरविंद केजरीवाल है. अगर नरेंद्र मोदी जी का विकल्प इस देश में कोई है तो वो अरविंद केजरीवाल है. अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को हो सकता है वो आज गिरफ्तार करेंगे, मगर हर गली में, हर मोहल्ले में, हर गांव में, हर कस्बे में अरविंद केजरीवाल की सोच वाले नए अरविंद केजरीवाल पैदा होंगे. बीजेपी की तरफ से और वो सोच जो है, उस सोच को आप गिरफ्तार नहीं कर सकते. अंग्रेज़ों ने भी बहुत लोगों को गिरफ्तार किया, 10-10 साल जेलों के अंदर रखा, हाउस अरेस्ट के अंदर रखा. अपने विरोधियों को आप जेल में डाल दें और अकेले ही चुनाव लड़ें, तो ऐसा प्रजातंत्र में होता नहीं है. ये सीधा सीधा एक अत्याचार है कि आप एक छोटी सी पार्टी, आप तो कहते हैं कि सुपारी जितनी पार्टी है, इतनी छोटी पार्टी है. जब इतनी छोटी, मैं आपसे बात नहीं कर रहा प्लीज, मैं एएनआई को बाइट दे रहा हूँ. जब इतनी छोटी पार्टी से इतना बड़ा डर है कि इनको गिरफ्तार ही करना है, कैसे भी गिरफ्तार करना है, तो ये बात आज जो है, इनका जो अत्याचार है वो आज पूरे देश और पूरी दुनिया के सामने आ गया है.
सर आपने अंदर जाने की सर एक सवाल सर.
So the bottom line is that the Delhi police has gone there. The legal team of the Delhi government has gone to the Supreme Court.
No, Aam Aadmi Party.
Aam Aadmi Party has gone to the, yes.
They are likely to go to Supreme Court right now.
will they be able to get the Supreme Court to do the job?
Well, I think, the Supreme Court has worked in the last several cases where we've seen that, whenever there is a question of this kind of thing which impinges on a person, life, right to life and right to liberty, then the Supreme Court has taken decision, has agreed to hear. I think another half an hour we'll get to know whether the registrar of the Supreme Court agrees for an early hearing or not. But one thing is for sure, that tomorrow, if it doesn't happen tonight, the first thing which they are going to go tomorrow is appear before the Chief Justice and make a mention of what has happened. So it is going to be extremely interesting to see how it pans out. Will the Enforcement Directorate arrest Arvind Kejriwal is $1 million question, which everyone wants to know, because this is something which has been building up for a very long time.
When they went to Hemant Soren's residence, I don't recall, did they have the search and arrest warrant, or they only had search warrant?
Well, right now, it's very difficult.
Both of us were doing news at that point of time.
I agree. But, we can't say for sure whether right now, they had gone there for arrest warrant, because, if they want to arrest somebody, they can arrest somebody after a detailed round of questioning. They have more power. It's not like a normal police where, you have to operate. They have gone there with a search memo. They have questioned the individual and they said that they're not satisfied. That is the reason why they are placing him under arrest. So the same can be done with Arvind Kejriwal, but there also, he had evaded questioning for several rounds. But I think,
in your opinion, why did Kejriwal avoided going to Enforcement Directorate?
Well, honestly speaking, there is no direct reference to Arvind Kejriwal's name, and it has only come in, when K. Kavita's statement, or when K. Kavita was arrested, and there was a reference to Arvind Kejriwal that she was taking care of the South lobby, and as per the document submitted by the Enforcement Directorate, so she had met Arvind Kejriwal. That was where the first time the name of Arvind Kejriwal had cropped up. Today, the Enforcement Directorate had said that they have sent a summons to Arvind Kejriwal in his private capacity. Now, that's slightly baffling, but it'll be very interesting to see how it works out right now. 10-12 ED officers, they have gone inside. They would be searching the place of Arvind Kejriwal, Delhi Chief Minister, and in all likelihood, they are going to approach, Aam Aadmi Party is going to approach the Apex Court right now as we speak.
So I think the biggest development or the biggest story today is the ED search operation that is taking place, and the important thing is it's not a raid. Right now, they have not said that they have come there with an arrest warrant. They have said that they have come there with a search warrant, and they want to seize the material. Now, ED has lot of powers. Brijesh, ED, I'm supposed, can pick up people if they want from anywhere. I think they are vested with such powers.
They have their offices in important zones. It's not like one unit has to do all the work, or like centrally forced. So they have the important in almost all the state units and all. And if they are carrying out investigation and all, as it happens with central agencies, the local unit or the local police has to help him if there is a problem, like as is one the case of Hemant Soren, as we were discussing. Then they can also seek support from the central paramilitary forces and all. Well, last time in Jharkhand there was a massive presence of CRPF, CISF guys, and so they can get that protection also. We saw in the case of Sandesh Khali, when they had gone there to arrest Shahjaz Sheikh. So that time also they were carrying, but that initially there was a lesser posse of CRPF individual. Next time they went, there were a large number of central police force there. So they are not directly dependent also on the police, depending on the situation.
But I think that it's a point to be debated that very important opposition leaders have been under the scrutiny of the Enforcement Directorate. K. Kavita has been arrested, Hemant Soren has been arrested, Arvind Kejriwal's residence is being searched, the former Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi is behind bars, I think for more than 6 months now, and there has been a little progress when it comes to his case, correct?
Well, absolutely. See, Karthikeya, it's a very strange case. The reason I'm calling it a strange case is that we have seen how if you go by the oral observations or the obiter dicta, as it is called, of the judges, they said something and they have acted something differently. So there is also a lot of double speak, if I may use the word, without insulting the lordships. When we remember when Manish Sisodia went for the bail, and the kind of dressing down Enforcement Directorate team received from Justice Sanjeev Khanna, people were aghast. Justice Sanjeev Khanna went on to make this observation that if approver is the only thing which you have got, your case is going to fall flat in 2 minutes. Next hearing, next date, he just, based on the whatever.
Okay. The political analyst Bhanu Chandra also joins me. Bhanu, thank you for joining me on such a short notice.
Sure.
Bhanu, your opening
Sure.
comments on ED officers at Kejriwal's residence?
I think the long arm of the law has caught up with Kejriwal. Kejriwal can only evade the summons for so long. And I think it would have been prudent for him to appear for the summons earlier than closer to the elections. I think he made a political mistake. I think he got afraid looking at what happened to Sisodia and so on. But I think politically, it has not been going well for him. The series of bad news over the months has been accumulating and it has come to that. And I don't think people are going to have any sympathy at this point. Had he faced it earlier and gone through it, then things might have been different. But I think he's going to lose politically because of this.
It better to be arrested right on the eve of the election rather than be arrested couple of months before and then having no role to play in the election formulation and strategy. Because the people of Delhi, I'm just being playing the devil's advocate. The assembly elections,
Sure.
he is giving BJP perhaps the worst drubbings they have ever received, and BJP is a well-established party in Delhi.
See, the thing is there is something called the immediacy bias, right? If something happens recently, that event affects us more. So the closer he gets arrested to the elections, I think it is going to be disadvantageous for him. People might say that is going to create a sympathy factor extra, but I think this saga has been playing out for a long time. There have been other accused people that have been arrested, so I think it has already created this negative wave, and I think it is exacerbating Kejriwal's arrest. Just exacerbates those negative situations, I think.
But Bhanu, what is your assessment? Do you think it's going to be search operation today, or is it going to be search and arrest operation tonight?
Well, that's a very tricky question to answer, Karthikeya. I think based on the searches, I think
that's the joy of having a guest. That's the joy of having a guest.
So no, I think obviously the searches are going to happen first. Then let's see how I would put my bet on him getting arrested for the next couple of days, like it happened with Kavita. But whether it's going to happen today is I do not have an answer.
So the bottom line is that it's all I don't know, because the police will work, the ED will work, Aam Aadmi Party will work, journalists will work, but there's seriousness to this issue, and the issue is that most of this action is against the opposition leaders.
Well, yes.
There is no doubt about it. Let's put it in perspective. But we are not here to sit and pontificate, because there's a legality to what ED is doing. There is a law and order mechanism that is in action. But then journalists and other have the right to question that why this action has
there's a
substantially
legality. Nobody is saying that
encompassed only the opposition.
Nobody is saying that what ED is doing is illegal.
Correct.
But once the Kotwal only arrests my enemies and not me, or even doesn't even touch anybody, or people who were on their radar, or the intensity of the radar changes immediately once he switches sides, then the impartiality of ED comes under a big question mark. I don't know how it is going to play out politically, but if you ask me, the impartiality of Enforcement Directorate definitely comes under a big question mark, because it can't be that Brijesh Pandey is a thief one day and a saint next day just because he switched sides.
अरविंद केजरीवाल खड़े हो जाएंगे इस देश के संविधान को बचाने के लिए।
तो अभी क्या आप अंदर जा रही हैं? हो रहा है?
अभी तो देखिए अंदर जाने का सवाल नहीं है, अभी तो पुलिस यहाँ पे भारी संख्या में तैनात है, तो अभी हम यहीं पे इंतजार करेंगे।
अभी आएंगे क्या, और आप लोगों के नेता या कार्यकर्ता आ रहे हैं, खबर मिल रही जैसे जैसे?
वो तो स्वाभाविक है। आप ऐसे लोकप्रिय मुख्यमंत्री को गिरफ्तार करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो मुझे पूरा भरोसा है कि पूरी दिल्ली भर से लोग आएंगे। दिल्ली के लोग अरविंद केजरीवाल से प्यार करते हैं। दिल्ली के लोग अरविंद केजरीवाल को अपना भाई मानते हैं, अपना बेटा मानते हैं, अपने परिवार का सदस्य मानते हैं, क्योंकि अरविंद केजरीवाल ने दिल्ली वालों की जिंदगी में आमूलचूल परिवर्तन किया है, और इसी वजह से मोदी जी को डर लगता है अरविंद केजरीवाल से।
So, Bhanu, what do you make of it? Nervousness?
There are two sides to the debate, right? And both you and Brijesh actually spoke on either side. See, this is the law we have right now, and if we have to change this law, then we go for that, either through activism or through legislative changes. But this is the law, and we have to respect the law. I mean, like journalists and activists are like very right to question like whether there are errors of omission and commission. That is part of the public debate, but I think we should respect the law as it is right now.
So I would like to thank you, Bhanu. I would like to thank you, Brijesh.